All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 18th of January, 2018. There is a ton of noise in the crypto space regarding Bitcoin and just cryptos as a whole. And so I want to just share a perspective, touch on a few very key points about Bitcoin and the crypto space to get the idea across that if you're going to enter into this space, that you must proceed with extreme caution. Now, just understand that I am invested in Bitcoin and cryptos, and I've been involved in this space longer than probably 95, maybe even 99% of the people that are currently in it. And so I'm saying this being in Bitcoin. The first thing that needs to just be known is that the source of Bitcoin, where Bitcoin came from, is unknown. We don't know the origin of Bitcoin. There's a name that's been given, yet nobody knows who this person is. Nobody's ever talked to this person. Nobody knows where the hell to find this person. So this is just a very shady story. This is a very shady introduction into something that's turned as big as Bitcoin, and we don't know where it came from. We know certain attributes about it, so we have an idea of what it is. But more importantly than what it is where it came from, because where it came from tells you the purpose, the real purpose of what it is and why it's here. And Bitcoin's origins are very shady. If they came and they told us tomorrow that this person created Bitcoin, that'd be even more shady, because then why didn't you just say that to begin with? Bitcoin, I don't trust Bitcoin. I don't really know its legitimacy because of how it's been introduced. The origins are just so damn shady. It feels to me, for lack of a better word, I can't think of one better right now, it feels like some bullshit that has a mask on it. And we want to know what's behind that mask. It's like a Trojan horse. And we'll know the truth about it eventually. It'll come out. But that will come with some consequences down the road. So just be aware of the fact that the thing that you're throwing money into, we have no idea where the hell it came from. Second thing, well, I got some notes here that I'm gonna keep looking at. So why am I in Bitcoin? It's plain and simple. The reason why I'm in Bitcoin, if I don't trust it, is because there is so much money being funneled into Bitcoin. And if I'm gonna spend my time making money, then I wanna be in the space, or one of the spaces where the most money is flowing into, right? So I can maximize my time spent making money. It's that simple. If what I was doing was harming somebody else, I wouldn't be in this space, especially if I don't trust it. But the only person that I can harm in this is me. And so I am in this space strictly for the money, because it is just a machine. The next thing I want to touch on is everything in this space is out of your hands. The entire thing is digital. If the entire thing is digital, you don't really own it. And if the entire thing is digital, how can you really control it? I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just trying to bring some real awareness. See, when you put your money in the bank owns your money. If you didn't know that, the bank owns your money when your money is in the bank. If the bank spends all your money, good luck getting it back. If the bank goes down, you're not getting your money back. If you don't believe that these are real scenarios that can happen, then you need to really study some history, not just of this country, but of several other countries. This has happened countless times. I can't tell you how many times it's happened. So for Bitcoin, if your coins are in a wallet on an exchange. The exchange is like the bank, and you don't really own those coins. The exchange can do unlimited amount of things, right? If the exchange just shuts down one day, how are you going to get your coins out? If the internet stops working one day, how are you going to get your coins out? An example that I wanted to give on this is one of the coins that I have. It's a smaller cap coin. This coin got delisted from all but 2 exchanges. Both of those exchanges are not accepting new applicants right now. So I have all my coins for this coin on my desktop wallet. And I can't sell it because I can't sign up for these exchanges to sell it. So I'm just stuck with this, and this is just a small scenario. This is like a small case scenario of what can happen. But I mean, they can just delist Bitcoin if they wanted to. So just be aware that the fact that this entire thing is digital, you don't really own it and you can't really control it. Offline wallets and hardware wallets. I have both of those. The most secure wallet is a hardware wallet, but I want you to just know that hardware wallet does not mean that your coins are on the piece of hardware. The entire thing is on a network. So your coins, the whole basis of Bitcoin and cryptos is the public ledger about it, the publicity. And so all of your coins are still on the network. The wallet, the hardware, is like a key to get your coins on the network. So it might be a little bit more secure, but just like any lock and key, the lock can always be picked and the key can always be cloned. So this is not some sort of bulletproof thing going on. It's, I'd say it's like, so there's a wooden fence here. That might be the exchange wallet, and a brick fence would be the hardware wallet. But a cannon can go through either of them. So it is not completely secure. Ooh, and then this is a heavy one. Everything is recorded because the entire thing is on a network and the entire thing is digital. Everything is recorded, from the application that you fill out with your name, your address, your phone, social, email, and even your picture. You got to put your picture if you want to increase your limit. So they got everything. They even know what you look like. And so the wallet address, right? This thing is just a random set of characters. And so when you look on the ledger, it just shows the wallet address. It doesn't show who this belongs to. But know that this wallet address is tied to this account. This account has your information on it. It is not difficult to track and to trace where all this stuff is. If you go to the store and you pay with cash, unless you write your name on like the cash that you spend, or unless there's some sort of place where your information gets recorded, which there isn't when you're paying with cash, that is a non-traceable transaction. That's why pretty much all illegal transactions happen through cash, because you can't trace them back. But this whole thing being digital and everything being recorded, everything is getting tracked, everything can be traced, everything can be figured out. This is not as anonymous and cryptographic and untraceable as it is perceived to be. Ooh, this is another good one. Be careful of who you get your information from, even me. People who, and this is somebody telling you that's been in stocks for a number of years, cryptos in a number of years, and has made all sorts of mistakes. People who are making too much noise to get you caught up in the noise, to get you feeling extra excited or extra afraid. You want to stay as far away from those people as possible. And that is like 99% of the news out there, 99% of the media, and pretty much everybody that I'm seeing, at least on YouTube. I don't know any other platforms. Well, there's a ton of other platforms. I won't get into them, but I think most of the information, if it's not on the media, it's on these so-called crypto experts on YouTube with thumbnails of a coin, a price, a rocket, and a moon. If these are your advisors, you're just asking for it. Noise is never, and being caught up in the hype is never a good place to be, one, getting information from, and then two, making decisions from, because they are emotionally pulling you. This is not just in cryptos, this is with anything. They're emotionally pulling you in directions, and so you are standing on an unstable ground. So when the price of these things fluctuate, you start fluctuating too, and you can't make smart decisions. Yeah, so I would stay away from anybody who acts as if they know what they're talking about, because they most likely don't. Anybody could have thrown money into cryptos last year into almost any coin, and the coin would have gone up. That's just because the nature of the market is very bullish right now. It doesn't mean that this person knows what they're talking about. They don't know shit. This is strictly because the nature of the market is very bullish. You could have thrown your money into shitcoin and it would have gone up. I was going to touch on something about that. What was I going to touch on? Yeah. The kind of information, at least that I get and that I use and that I would recommend, is strictly numbers. Noise-free information. Numbers don't have an emotional charge to them. Numbers don't have any kind of bias to them. They are strictly black and white. And for cryptos, at least, there's technical analysis, Elliott waves, that I receive from a few people who have been doing this for a very long time. And so technical analysis, specifically Elliott waves, is extremely powerful because Elliott waves gives you different scenarios. Each scenario has a certain probability to it. This is the best way to approach it. Every single day as the price moves, the probability changes slightly, unless it tracks the path of the wave exactly, which it can, and it's done. Having different scenarios and having levels of probability can allow you to make the best decisions. It's like in poker. You get your cards dealt, your hand dealt. There's a certain probability that you put to it. If you're a smart poker player, you can also play with emotions, and you might win some, but you will lose majority of them. You get your cards dealt, there's a probability. The flop comes, probability changes. Next card comes, probability changes. Last card comes, probability changes. And those are how the successful poker players are playing. Well, part of it is reading the opponent, but there's a lot of it that goes into the probability. So you can make smart decisions based on that. So numbers, noise-free information, specifically Elliott waves, is what I've found to be the most helpful, giving different scenarios of different probabilities. At this point in time, you can make the most intelligent decisions. Are we in a bubble? Just yesterday, I saw a second case scenario. Now, all of the pieces of this, all the makings of this is that of a bubble. This is how like every single bubble has formed. And this one is going at a rate that we haven't really seen before. This thing is just, it's growing like a monster. It is out of control. It is really out of control, which is why there are these heavy corrections, just like one that we're going through right now. If we're in a bubble, which is the higher probability, then there's definitely going to be an end to it. When is the end going to come? I have absolutely no idea, and no one has any idea. All I would say about this is, since it's grown so fast, this thing has grown so damn fast, I would have to assume, at least as of this point in time, that it's going to burst sooner than later, just because it's growing so fast. And when it bursts, like any sort of bubble has, it's going to come crashing, like to the bottom. Does this mean that this is going to be the end of cryptos after, if that happens? I don't think so. Just like when .com burst, there were a few of the key players who remained. Their value went down significantly as well, but they remained, and everybody else kind of withered away. I would think that that is more of a realistic scenario if we're in a bubble. If we're not in a bubble, then I think the true face of Bitcoin would show, and we would be entering a cashless society. And I would not be too thrilled about that. But if we're not in a bubble, that's the only thing that I can really see as being possible. There would be enough backing behind Bitcoin to push us to that. So that is option number 2. That's not out of the question by any means. It's either that we're in a bubble or that this other thing is what we are headed towards. Is it too late to get into cryptos? My answer for this is no, because the market, again, is just out of this world bullish. They just made an ETF for Bitcoin about a month ago, and they got to ride that thing to the top. So I think that we still have a long way to go. Temporarily, as of like this exact point in time, I think that we're in, is this thing even recording? Yeah. I think that we're in a bear move. So if you are not in Bitcoin, I would, and you want to get in, again, I'm not fucking Nostradamus, but the probability is that we're in a bear move. And so if you have some cash set aside, you may be able to get in at a discounted rate. This bear move, this is my only tip that I'm gonna give on this, besides proceeding with some real caution. This thing might last one more week. I'm really not sure. It could end tomorrow. That's the level of volatility of this thing. But if you are wanting to get in, then this might not be a bad time. The last thing that I'm going to touch on is this new idea that's in, that is hold on for dear life. And I just want you to be crystal clear that holding on for dear life is going to do nothing but get you completely fucked. The reason why most people lose in the daily stock market, in all of the crashes, 1929 crash, the .com bubble, the '08 crash, part of it is that they were getting their information from unreliable sources, people just creating noise. The other part is that they were holding on for dear life, so they rode this shit all the way up and then they rode it all the way back down because they were holding on for dear life. That's what happens when you hold on for dear life. The more intelligent thing to do is to take your profits off the table slowly, or at a bare minimum, take your initial investment out so you're just playing with profits. It would actually be smarter to take some profits off the table so you have some cash on hand, so that when these kind of bear moves happen, you can buy back in at a lower price and ride that wave up as well. But the last thing that you want to do is hold on for dear life. And the last people that you want to listen to are the experts that tell you to hold on for dear life. You're holding on for dear life so that when this thing goes up, they can take their profits and you can hold on all the way down. Do not hold on for dear life. Be smart and take your profits. One of my mentors in this and the stock game told me, it's always better to be out of a market wishing that you could be in than to be in the market wishing that you could be out. Out of the market, you at least have your profits. If you're in the market, you are going to be fucked. That is guaranteed. That's what holding on for dear life is. holding on for dear life, and somebody comes in. And, yeah, so that is all I wanted to share. Again, the main purpose of this video was to get the point across that if you are going to enter into this space, you need to do so with extreme caution when you are dealing with something as dangerous, yes, dangerous as cryptocurrencies. So, happy trading. This is our time.